All right, Scott Squad. I think I told y'all I had something special for y'all, but I ain't tell y'all exactly who it was. And so we have Miss Quad here from Married to Medicine. First of all, I have been dying to talk to you for some time now.
Well, why you didn't dial me up? Why you dial me up to the Skype or you dial me up to the stream yard or what you dial me up?
You know what though? I always feel like timing is everything, right? And so with the end of the season and y'all killing it at BravoCon, in my spirit, I feel like this is the right time because I feel like the people have a lot of questions and now you can
Okay.
give us a lot of answers.
I am privy to now probably speaking a little bit more freely now that the season has been completed. We have yet to get into the third part of the reunion. You guys saw a little bit of the teaser this past weekend. We premiered that at BravoCon at the Married to Medicine panel, honey, and it was very busy. So I am privy a little bit more to talk a little bit freely than what I probably would have been earlier on in the season because we like for it to hit Bravo first, you know.
Right.
Because see, that's the machine, and then from there we can go ahead and get the big guys like you.
And we appreciate it. I got a question. How was that BravoCon panel? I watched it from the comfort of my home, but it looked like it was fiery.
You know what? I think if you were privy enough and you were smart enough to purchase your tickets for the Married to Medicine panel at BravoCon, you basically won. It was literally, to me, in my mind, almost like a front row seat. We gave the fans and the audience a front row seat to what it's like being at a taping of the reunion. So I think they really were basically in for a treat and they had no idea. It was fire. Yes.
I want to ask some real questions about that
Mm-hmm.
in general. How was that sitting beside Simone and Toya? Like
Uh,
I would have set y'all a little differently.
well, here's the deal. For me, I don't care who I sit by. The truth is going to be the truth. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care if you if you wronged me 5 minutes ago and now you're sitting by me, then I'm going to tell you my truth. If we're great, but you did something disturbing a couple of seasons back, maybe earlier on in the day, I don't give a damn. Wherever I'm sitting, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter who I'm sitting by. My truth is going to ring out. So I'm not uncomfortable in any state. But I guess what you're saying is how comfortable was it for me to sit by Simone and then one person removed sitting by Toya? I don't care who I sit by. You understand what I'm saying? Because the truth is still going to be the truth. One thing that I can pride myself on, I have always stood on the truth throughout all of the years. I don't care how the girls have gotten their pen out and tried to rewrite the narrative. I don't care if they got their paintbrushes out and they tried to paint a different narrative. I don't care. The truth is the truth. It never, ever, ever changes. It never changes.
I'm glad you said something. You said something very interesting about things that have happened a couple of years ago. Now, I interviewed Dr. Heavenly, and I said, Dr. Heavenly, what is the issue with Toya and Quad? And then she said something to me and brought something back to my remembrance about some things that Toya had said about you. So I want you to listen for one quick second,
Okay.
and then I
Okay.
want you
Let
to
me let me
respond
let me take
to
a
my
moment. Wait a
question.
minute.
All right, here we go.
I'm not gonna put a lot of words. I'm not gonna make it no word circle. Okay? Because it is what it is. If I'm a friend of Married to Medicine, I'm a friend of Married to Medicine. Okay? If I'm not a main character on the show, I'm not a main character on the show. Because here's the truth. I ain't wanted to be on the show in a long time. I ain't been giving shit to the show in a long time.
Hold on, Toya.
And now I'm talking about
Toya, hold on,
Toya.
Okay, so in this was alive with Toya and Dr. Simone and Cecil. And in this, they were alluding to you, okay, being a friend to the show the previous season, and then alluding to you not giving anything to the show. Is this where you and Toya's beef stems from?
For me, this is exactly where Tacky and I go awry. Because I had no idea that she really felt that way about me, because at some point in time, Toya and I were friends. Like, I would hang out at her house. I love her boys. I think she has the most beautiful boys in the world outside of Mason. But you know, I thought there was a real friendship there. And so I really didn't understand where the anger stemmed from. And I mean, she was very angry. Her face was all in the camera. She was screaming. She had, you know, scrunches in her face. And I mean, she just went on this tangent in terms of me not bringing anything to the show. And honestly, that's never been me. Almost every season. First of all, let me go ahead and dispel the whole myths of storylines for me. I don't have a storyline. So if you're right, if you want to say Miss Quiet ain't got a story, girl, I applaud you, because I don't do storylines. I do real life. You understand what I'm saying? So that's different. In the off season, I'm not somewhere with a pen and paper trying to figure out what's going to happen or what can I show on the show. I don't do that. I live real life, and whatever the camera captures at that very moment, whatever it is that's going on in my life, that's what the camera gets, right? So it's interesting for her to say that I bring nothing to the show when I brought me being a newlywed to the show, right? When I brought me and my ex-best friend, and I really hate that at this moment we're still not friends, but it is what it is, you know, for a number of years, that was drawn out. Whether I wanted it or she wanted it, it was still drawn out. And you saw the breakdown of two really, really, really close people basically lose their friendship, right? And everybody was able to kind of latch on to that. Everyone was able to latch on to that and have their opinion and, you know, draw their sides or whatever, but it kept them, their own personal lives, out of the forefront for a very long time, because everyone was focused on my ex-best friend and I. Not only that, I've taken the girls on a journey with me in terms of my growth, becoming a brand contributor of BCBG. Who do you know who took some of the girls out to LA and put them in an 80,000 square foot home? Compliments of me with Luba and Max Azria. RIP to Max at this time, because he's passed away now. But these are things that you can see. Who do you now know that went through a very turbulent divorce, right? And then had to square off and sit on the stage with their then ex-husband and say, well, I think we were at the time probably still going through the divorce, and we had to do a face-off. See, that 1 hour, because it was pretty much an hour of just myself and my ex-husband and Andy. And we were just going through everything that we had went through in our marriage. And so I think that helped to put another check in everybody's pocket. You understand what I'm saying? Right, because it was he and I for the better half of that hour, and they brought in the rest of the cast to do their cameos so then they could get paid too, right? So then we fast forward to now, you know, me going through trying to pick myself up after divorce, or life or quad after the divorce, right? Where basically I lived in a townhome for a while. And it wasn't what she said about the townhome. I want viewers to be a little bit more vigilant than that, Richie. She really and truly was trying to get me off. She was really trying to low-key just slide me right on off the show. This is why you consistently hear, why is Quad here? You'll hear that again from her husband. At the reunion, he stated that, oh, she's not married to medicine. She doesn't have a husband. They continuously try to drive home the ideology that I don't have a husband. It's not about a husband, guys. They're trying to get me off of this show. Let's just keep it real. And so that doesn't sit well with me at all, okay? Because when we go to the grand scheme of things, we do have a huge franchise out there that I think you guys may have heard of. It's called Real Housewives of whatever. OC, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, New York, Miami, and it goes on. Potomac, it goes on, right? Real. Let's hold on for a moment and focus on the word real. Well, not many of them are married. So why is it being such a huge focal point on the word married to medicine? Married. Are you a real housewife, which implies that you're married and you're a kept woman? Or are you married to medicine? Do you understand what I'm saying? No one has a problem there when it comes down to Real Housewives. But some of my castmates, i.e. Toya, whom in which she's the subject right now, she's made it a very a focal point where she's utilizing that to try to have people to rally around her to possibly get me kicked off the show. Now, she has no power. She's really powerless in this. Very powerless. She has no power here nor there. But it doesn't stop her from her efforts. You understand what I'm saying? And if I were her, I would chill out on that, because we're still on a TV show. And a part of being on a show, people tuning in, they want to be what? Entertained. So whether, regardless if you don't like Miss Quad or not, guess what? Miss Quad is good TV. So I would wisen up. If I were her, I wouldn't try to push that envelope, which she doesn't have any power anyway. But I have heard from executives myself that she had a plan to try to get me off the show. And so I do a certain type of way about that. Do I have anything against her kids? No, I think they're beautiful. I also think that Eugene is a good man. Let me state that. I have nothing truly against Eugene. I feel that Eugene, sometimes he inserts himself or interjects himself in women's business, which then has allowed me to speak out against him in some fashion, right? And you will then see that what has happened, they are very upset that I have fought Toya with the very same thing that she put out about her own husband. It wasn't me to say that his penis was small. Honey, I don't know if the man penis is a Vienna sausage or not. I don't know. But what I can say is that she offered up the information. And when you are fighting, all is fair in love and war. You can't tell me how to hit you back when you struck me. You can't tell me how to fight you. You just got to stand up and be ready for my punches. And I think that has been the whole focal point. And you will see that in the reunion, where they're saying that I said things that I didn't even say. I didn't ever recall saying that Toya didn't have a job. I think a lot of that was heavenly. But the whole entire reunion, if I would have not been present, I got to tell you, you guys wouldn't have been as entertained.
You know what? Can I say a couple of things that I totally agree with you on? I hate the idea of a storyline. To me, I feel like we're following people's personal stories. We're following your journey. And the other thing that I would say is the reason why I think Married to Medicine has been so successful is because you guys have probably the largest long-standing cast of any franchise to have been on for 9 seasons. So when we're watching Married to Medicine, we're watching a group of friends. So to me, it's not just about the marriage aspect, just like it's not about being married on Housewives. It's literally about a group of friends and how you guys navigate life together. That's what I watch it for. Mm-hmm. And I would wager that's what most people watch it for.
I also want to insert, but even just, let's take, for instance, this season. I lost my brother in 2020, the day after Christmas, right? Mason is his only son. He has 3 other daughters. I am equally involved as much as I can be in all of their lives. When I hear someone say, and I think if you go, and I think you may even have a recording of this, where the Married to Medicine panel at BravoCon, when it was stated by Toya, when she said, well, I don't bring anything to the show and I haven't been real. I'm like, me helping my nephew, my younger brother, who is now passed on to glory, and me helping with his children, and you all seeing me have a one-on-one relationship with Mason, like, you think that was a storyline? You think that I would really sell my brother to death for a storyline? I would give anything to have him back. He was supposed to be right here in this house with the rest of my family and I. That was always the plan. So do you really think that I would wager him in any way for a storyline? And I think it is ridiculous and absolutely just nasty for a person to perpetuate that type of narrative. Everything is not about a storyline.
Do you feel that she wants to be the only doctor's wife on the show, or the only sort of non-medicinal, like non-practitioner on the show?
No, I don't necessarily think that, and I don't think that that will even be good for the show, because you're only going to get so much from a doctor that is still practicing within the hospital, because they have to answer to that organization. Now we get a little bit more from Heavenly, because Heavenly is her own boss. She is, I mean, truly, she is not seeing patients at a hospital. You know, she does not have to adhere to whatever the realm of what the hospital, whatever the scope of what the hospital says to do. She does not. She doesn't conduct surgeries in a hospital. Everything is done out of Heavenly's own office, in which she is the boss. Okay, so we are able to get a little bit more from Heavenly than we are the other physicians, and that's just the way the layout of it is, right? Mm-hmm. But I think if this show didn't have wives, it probably would not do so well, because we always have revered our physicians to be almost the next thing, some people would say, close to God, right? So if that is the case, there's only so much room that they're going to kind of have to truly be who they are inside.
Right. I want to ask you about a couple of things that I have been so curious about during the season. And it's kind of been blown out of proportion. You and this alleged contractor, what is that about?
Like, you mean the one that I'm suing? You mean the one that I'm suing right now? Oh, okay.
Wait, what? You're suing the contractor?
You know what? Oh God, yes. He did a botched job in my keeping room over the fireplace, and I mean, I gave him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to try to rectify the situation. That particular person just basically left the job as was. I had to go out and I had to hire another company to come in, and they had to demo everything, which cost me some more money, and not to mention just a year of agony, because I literally just filed a lawsuit a couple of months ago. Yeah. Because I was trying to give an opportunity for this person to rectify the situation. So I really think it's just a load of BS. I think when you gotta think of this. If we go back to season 1, I have always been coined to be the underdog, right? And so what is happening here, and what we've seen over the years, is that I have continuously exceeded their expectations. Not the expectations that I have for myself, but I've exceeded their expectations. And honestly, it makes it a little bit difficult for them to stomach that. And so at every turn, if they can try to clip my wings, they will. If they can cut me by the ankles, they will. They really don't want people to be as fond of me as they really are. You know, I'm not supposed to. I mean, we saw it throughout the season, especially in the finale. I mean, we got people like, how does she get a $2.2 million house? Like, that money had to come from somewhere, as if I hadn't been on this show since the conception, as if a Black woman could not be wise enough to know how to invest and know how to save or make the money work for her. As if every dime that I've ever touched, I went out and I blew it at Neiman Marcus or something. That's not me. I'm always, and not only that, as if I haven't expanded my brand and everything that I do, I've always been paid to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's disheartening to hear educated women, especially black women, go out in the world and say, well, if she's living like this, then essentially she must have to lay on her back to get it. And if anybody knows, honey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm so stingy. I'm stingy with my middle, honey. I only share my middle with the vibrators, honey. I love my vibrators. And the people try to tell me to stop using the vibrators. They said, Miss Quad, when you get a man, that is not gonna be good for the man. But I'm saying if the man is all of that, he's gonna come right on in. You understand? And I mean what I say. So, everyone who truly knows me knows I'm very stingy with the middle, honey.
Would you be afraid to bring a man on the show?
No. And I know, and here's the thing, I'm not afraid to bring a man on the show at all. It's just, and I know they would love for me to bring a man because they want to devour him. They want to tear him down. They want to look in his background. They want to see how much money he makes. They want to see how many kids he got. They want to see everything. They just want to peel the man apart. Child, pull the man. I'm sorry to this man. So I know the girls want it, and I know the reason, I know the motivation behind why they want it. I know why production wants it. It is truly just to take this person and, in my opinion, just shred them, honey, like cheese, cheddar cheese, And so I'm not afraid of the man bringing a man on the show. It's just, you have to understand, I'm in a very delicate place right now. I need to make sure the man is for me because of me, not all of what comes with me, the television, the lights, the cameras, the acknowledgement, the fame or whatever. I'm saying, really, I have to be careful to make sure that this is the right man for me. I said this at BravoCon. I'm not looking at a man as if he was an Airwick air freshener that I can just plug into the wall. This is not that. I'm not trying to, I want to have something real and authentic. I think it reads when people just snatch people up and they just throw them on the show. And it's like, girl, y'all have no chemistry. How is this your man? I'm confused. And then, honey, then the people tear you down even more. So I'm just wanting to make sure when that does happen, that this man is truly for me, and we have a connection that is unshakable, unbreakable, and unmatched.
Well, we definitely want to see you with that type of man. And maybe, I'm going to get to my thought about that in just a little bit, because I got another question down just a few questions. But I got to ask you this first. Did Anila tell you about Toya's alleged creeping around the neighborhood?
She did. I didn't know a thing. I now have friends over there. So, we him and ha, we kiki, we leg slap. Some of the girls, I've been on trips with some of those girls over there. They come to my birthday celebration. Anila was at my birthday celebration in Cabo. We had a great time. Anila and Zaina both came along for that. It was so much fun. Natalie and I together, like, we've had such a great time together. There's some really beautiful girls over there, and I think they kind of got roped in and balled up, and now it's been so many whispers about these girls, but these are really good. Natalie, a very beautiful girl. Zaina, equally as beautiful. They have their own families. They work hard. They're good women, and I think that they've kind of just been roped into this whole TV thing, and so now people are saying certain things about them that really doesn't match who they are.
Okay. Because that was kind of left. Do you and Anila ever address that at any point?
We do talk about it. I think you all will see that for sure on the reunion. If you watched BravoCon, you know my position on that. I was very clear. It was disheartening because I did feel that, first of all, Anila was the person that told me initially about the whole thing that was what was going on with Toya in the neighborhood, her sleeping with a man in the neighborhood. Later on, Zaina was roped into that, and both of them had a commonality there where they were both angry at Toya at the time. And so there you have it. A lot of things came out in that conversation.
At BravoCon, you mentioned something about you had like an audio of something for who actually did mess with a contractor. What did you mean?
No,
by
not
that?
mess with a No, baby, not a contractor. The contractor. The contractor in which I hired. So not a contractor, right?
The very same one?
The contractor that's in question. I'm sorry?
The very same contractor?
Yeah, that's the same person. It's the same person. So you have the general contractor, then you have a whole lot of subcontractors. This is the funny thing about it. So if you watch the finale and leading up to like Blue Ridge and all that, there was a whole lot of, there's this thing that came up across about taking a polygraph, right? Mm-hmm. For me, I was like, fine, cool with me, no problem. It was offered, I think Anila's private investigator brought that to the forefront and said, hey, we can ask some of the young ladies, or ladies, because they ain't all young, child, but ask some of the ladies to take a polygraph. I think he began to make some phone calls or something, and he called Toya. And at that point, Toya told him, per what he said Toya told him that she would be fine with taking a polygraph test, which means she believed in it, right? She believed in the power of a polygraph. She said that she would take the polygraph test if Anila and I took the test. So then he went back and said, I got a confirmation from both Quad and Anila that they are willing to take the polygraph test, which tells me that she was all for a polygraph if she thought that she could bluff us. But when there was no bluff and we called her on it, she then came back and said, well, she would have to create the questions. He came back and told us that. We then said, yeah, that's fine. Let her create the questions. I was even cool with her creating the questions. When he went back and took that knowledge to her, that information to her, that's when she came back and said, well, Eugene said that a polygraph test is not real. It's inadmissible in court. Now, knowing what I know about people, when a person is running from something, then they will always find an excuse or reason not to do something. Because it went from her saying, yes, I'll take it if they take it. They said, yeah, they'll take it. Okay, well, if they take it, then I got to be in control of the questions. Quad says she doesn't care whatever questions you ask her. It's okay. Anila says she doesn't care either. So then it goes from that to all of a sudden, oh, no, that's fake news. Donald Trump. No, it's inadmissible in court. No. So I was just like, wow, this is strange to me. Now, when that happened, I'm like, it seems like someone is, what are you running from? What are you hiding? Right? I didn't understand it. First of all, we're not in court. We're not.
Right.
We are on Bravo, honey. We're down to the Bravo network, down to the Married to Medicine show. Okay? Married to Medicine season 9, and we're down to the Bravo TV. We are not in court, girls. So pay it does. Secondly, I have friends who work in the U.S. government, right? Same. I have friends who even affiliate, just by affiliation, even if they're contracted to work for the federal government, i.e., let me use my sister right now, Dr. Simone's sister, Carmen. She is in IT. She does IT for the federal government. Carmen has confirmed that they are real. She had to take one in order to get that job. Okay? I'm just saying. I only speak facts. I'm not coming from anywhere else but factual knowledge, because the facts will never, ever change. So I'm not saying, and I want people to be clear, Richie, I'm not saying that I think Toya is busting windows, Jimmy in locks, or scaling the walls to break in somebody's house, honey. No. Not at all. I don't think that. I don't think that. And the deal is, I'm not even saying that she had something to do with the robbery. What I am saying is that there was knowledge that Anila was the target of a crime. Period. We didn't know what the crime was going to be. What we can say is that Carrie said to us that Toya told her there was a hit out on Anila in the neighborhood. Now, is Toya part of the mafia? Is she gang? No, she's not. She's not. So we're not thinking that a hit means murder for hire. Okay, let's just scratch that. It's not murder for hire. What we will say is this particular person, then in this case, a hit means the person will be the target of some type of crime or discomfort. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that Toya called somebody on the phone and said, okay, here's the address and this and that and the other. I'm just saying when the knowledge came to Toya, however Toya got it, she negated to tell Anila, you need to be safe. I've heard some things in the neighborhood. You guys really need to ramp up on security. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up, because I kind of felt like I was like, what? Like it was confusing just watching the timeline of the show, because we didn't see Carrie say it. We only heard whispers of it, you know, here and there. So I'm glad you cleared that up.
And you can also pull some clips from Twitter. Carrie does confirm that she said that, and she does confirm that she has proof that Toya told her that. Not only, Toya also texted production and told someone on production that same thing, that there was a hit out on Anila. Now, we always, in this reality TV thing, production will always be protected. A lot of times when even if it's a trip, you know, we're not planning these trips. Let's keep it real. Production is like, okay, this is where we're going to go. Okay, it's going to be your trip. So whatever happens on your trip, you have to own it. Okay, whatever it is. I just looked this past finale. They made me look like the villain, right? I got to take that. Fine, because that's how they decided to cut it. We do not have creative control at all. So I'm a part of this. It comes with it. Let Miss Quad be the villain. And if they throw you a bone and you're able to play the victim, then play it on up. And I think that's what we've seen Toya do over the last couple of episodes. You know, Toya has been very nasty to me over the years. I mean, she really has. I mean, in point in case, you basically just played something earlier, and we see that she's been very, very nasty. Who would marry a man like that? And who would this? And you were this, and you. I mean, it was just a whole entire thing. You calling me ghetto, and you know I'm not fit to be a doctor's wife. Are you? I mean, well, are you marrying the man for the title? Or are you marrying the man for the man? Because being fit, him being a doctor shouldn't have anything to do with it. That's your husband, right? So that's just how I see it.
Can I ask you a question that maybe, and we haven't touched on this, but briefly, is there a specific issue between you and Simone?
I love Simone. Let me tell you something. Simone and I have had some great years together. I adore Simone. I really like her a lot. I don't know what happened to Simone and I can't begin to even tell you. I actually need Simone to damn tell me, because I don't have an issue with Simone. And I wish that I can, you see how clearly I can call the problem between Toya and I can't call the problem between Simone and I. And so for me, I'm baffled. And honestly, I gotta tell you, I don't really care what any of the other girls say. about me because I know that Heavenly says things because she's seeking attention. Toya has said some things because there's an underlining motive there to make people not like me or to, you know, garner more, I guess, fans or whatever. And there may be a little bit of jealousy there. But I can't tell you anything when it comes to Simone. So it really hurts me that when I go back and I see certain things that Simone has said, I'm kind of like literally like tearing up, like, what the hell, what did I do to you? See, if I've done something to you, then I can stand on that. And I can understand that. But I don't know where Simone and I went wrong. I can't say. And, you know, it's kind of like, it's hurtful. It's hurtful to say the least because, and I'm not comparing myself to Toya, it's just the topic of discussion right now. I notice if Toya says something, and even if it's a lie, I know that Simone would just ride with it. I can present the truth to Simone, and she still won't give me the just due of the truth. I'm not talking about anything else. Don't do it because you love me, we're great, we're amazing, it's my homegirl. Don't do it because, you know, we used to be cool or whatever. I'm just saying, let's just base it on the facts that I present to you. Why are you treating me like this? I still don't know to this day. Are you going back and speaking in terms of some things that she may have said during the finale?
Yeah, I think it was, you know, just as someone who I've watched the show since day one. And then, you know, I think the thing that bothered me a bit was when she said in her confessional that a single woman, well, she alluded to the idea that a single woman couldn't have possibly gotten the home that you have without perhaps sleeping with someone. I don't know, as just a black man, it bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it negates any work that you could have done to have saved, invested well, made a smart purchase. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a number of ways to gain in real estate. And her husband's a
Yeah.
realtor. So I mean, to me, that just it was bothersome to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to feel exactly like how you feel. I don't know where that comes from. Listen, I've been on the show just as long. I was here since the conception, even before I got into Married to Medicine. I was already in medical device sales, you know, coming on to the show, which then yielded another check for me. I became the brand contributor of BCBG. That was a paid job for me. You saw me as a talk show host on Sister Circle for about 3.5 years. That was not charity. That was also paid. You know that I have my cookbook here. I mean, Cooking with Miss Quad. The people see it's a lot of light. Shine the light on it. You see the shine the light on. Cooking with Miss Quad. Let's get it real nice and there we go. So, you know, this book is sold everywhere fine books are, and it's been number one bestseller on Amazon for God knows how long. And I'm still yielding money from creating this book. And even now, we go into my all-purpose blend here. Let you guys get a hold of that. This is my all-purpose blend. I want to get that. Let's get this. There we go. This is my all-purpose blend here. It's called Sass. It's sweet and savory seasoning. Good on everything, honey. Fish, chicken, pork, beef, and even you if you want it on you. It's your prerogative, you know? And so I was fortunate enough to launch that this past Thursday on the Sherry Shepherd Show. So if you guys could go into the bio on my Instagram, you can purchase it and pre-order it at sassbyquad.com. You can purchase it. It's low in sodium, no MSG, and it's gluten-free, and it's damn good too.
Also, you know what? Let me tell you how I'm going to just go give you some praise right now. because that was a professional.
Oh,
That was a professional insert and swerve right there. Let me tell you, I recognize. I like that. I like that. Okay. I got one other major question for you, and I don't know if you want to talk about it or not. We've seen you go to Africa. This was something that interests me because I am to me, Africa is, and from what I gathered on social media is that it was an investment trip, or it was like to look at investments. Can you just talk about that for a second? Like just the experience and, what you got from it? Because I just try to always get people to visit Africa. And I felt like you would be the perfect person to also tell about that experience.
let me tell you something. Good people who all fall under the tone of my voice, go. Go and go again and go again. When I tell you it was one of the best experiences in my life, we are very misled here in the States. We have been told the wrong things. I have heard things so preposterous as Africans don't like African American people. That's an untrue statement. When I tell you the warmest, most welcoming people, the people who want to embrace you with love and show their love and support, it's in Africa. From the moment you get off the plane to the moment that they make sure that you're back on the plane safely. Beautiful, so resourceful. I learned so much about myself. I reconnected with the motherland. It is mandatory. Good people. And I know people say, Miss Quad, you speak like you are a pastor. I might be the first lady one day. I don't know who got it. But I'm telling you, this is my voice, okay? And from my voice to your ears, the best experience in the world, loving people, amazing food. It's a deeper connection. You go on a lot of trips and it's beautiful. You do excursions and all this. But this, I gotta tell you, for me, I came from Ghana a better woman. I went into the smaller villages in Ghana and I saw where people had very little monetary things, but they were very, very big in heart and very rich in love. Held little babies that were the most beautiful children that I've ever laid eyes on. The clothes, beautiful. I have, and shouts out to Raimi, who's out there. She had made a couple of dresses for me. One of the best designers that I have ever worked with. And when I tell you, so meticulous to detail, this woman is amazing. So if you guys could follow her, it's Rami. Miss Quad sent you. I really thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I got to tell you, we visited the Door of No Return. And that was a very emotional time for me. It's right there on the coast. And that was a place where enslaved people would be housed for a number of weeks until ships will come in to kind of take them on to other countries. And I can tell you right now, just thinking about it, the smell and the stench of urine and feces, I can still smell right now, just going back to that place mentally.
Yo, something happened in the video real quick and I couldn't leave it in, but y'all, Miss Quad is a trip. So when we get back to the scene, you're going to see us laughing hysterically. Oh, Miss Quad is busy. Okay.
Miss Quad is working. Miss Quad is out here, honey, promoting sass, honey. Sass it up, baby. Sass it, honey. Yeah, sprinkle some today. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit now. It's good, though.
I can't wait to get mine.
Look, that's a shame. Child, I don't lick the palm of my hand. It's clean. It's really good. I really got to tell you. I'm not just saying it because it's mine, but I worked on this. I worked hard on my percentages in terms of what I wanted to taste, the flavor, and great flavor.
I'm I'm gonna tell you this now. While you here, you need to come up to DC, do Fox 5, the Lion Hour, and do some cooking while we all talk. I have got to make that happen. When you come to DC, we got to make that happen because we could get you to a whole like this, just a whole cooking segment. We making that happen. We are making that
Now, you
happen.
know you're speaking my real language.
I'm speaking
You know
it
you're
into
speaking my real
existence.
language. Oh, it's done. It's done. We say it once and we say it once and we get it done. It's over with. Listen, you know I'm all down to the Bloomingdales and the Williams Sonoma, honey, with all of my good cooking. I'm coming to DC with my good cooking. How about that?
Yes, we are making that happen.
And my sass.
Miss Quad, Sass, you got the books. You have got an amazing nephew, a beautiful mom. Just it to me, I feel like you are living. And I just want to say thank you for taking out some time to talk to me today. It means a lot to me because every time I do an interview, I always and it's always with the right people, and I just leave with something extra special. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. Listen, my pleasure, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak on your platform. I'm truly grateful for that. I'm grateful for everything that God has placed in my life, every person that God has placed in my life, even for the people who have disappointed me. I got to thank them too, because now they have given me vigilance to not deal with their kind ever again. So I'm grateful for that. What?
She said, never deal with their kind again.
Again, baby. But no, honestly, in all reality, I want to thank you so much. And I do, yes. If you go back, I want to add this because I want to make sure that you got it. I did say at BravoCon that if need be, and I don't really want to burn houses down. I really don't. That's not what I'm here for. My biggest thing is to clear my name. For years, I've been having the same thing been dumped on my name, and I'm just sick of it. I'm tired of it, and I demand respect. I do have an audio recording of the person who truly slept with that particular contractor, who is indeed married. I can tell you that it was not me. And I'm not interested in really burning houses down, but I'm not interested in letting people slide and being able to put dirt on my name and having people to think something horrible about me to tear down my reputation. I'm not interested in that either. So who do I choose? Do I choose them or me? Of course, as they lied on me, they chose them. As I tell the truth, they'll be telling me. I'll be choosing me. See, baby, this is not for the green screen. See, I don't do things for the green screen. See, I don't have a person that's sitting feeding me lines in the green screen. This is me in my study. This is my life. This is my office. This is me speaking to you. I'm going to choose me, honey, if it's about telling the truth. So some of the girls may have people to go, because I think that was brought up too at BravoCon, that somebody's girls have, somebody sitting in the green room feeding them lines. If you're around me for 5 seconds, honey, you know my wit is strong. My intelligence is equally strong. That's never been me. I'm uncomfortable if somebody is in the green screen with me. I need the person who's asking the questions, and I'm going to be the person who's telling the answers, and that's that on that. Hey, Richie. Anything good? What I've noticed, anything good or anything that people may like or praise about me, it is most certainly under attack. But I'm ready for that too. Anything that people like, whether it's my physique, whether it's the fact that I'm quick wit, whether it's the fact that I can cook, whether it's the fact that I have the best green screens that Bravo has seen, anything that people have praised me about. Now it's going to be my voice because I'm going to say, here comes the pastor. But anything that people have praised me for, there will be 10 people to try to knock me for it. Get into it. Just watch them. Watch them with both eyes. And if you're smart enough and you're king enough and on that level spiritually enough, get into that third eye you got. It'll never fail you.
Pastor Quad.
Do we have anything? Do we have anything? Is there anything else? Where's the collection plate?
You know what? I ain't gonna ask you no questions about who that might be. I will allow you to, if you ever have to reach down into that well of information, I will let you release that on your own. But my word, they should probably leave you alone.
Rich, and that's all that I want. Get away from me with this, Apollo. Just get away from me with this. Y'all remember when Phaedra was down to the garage. and Phaedra and I, we laugh about this. I told her I say this from time to time. Baby, when Phaedra was in that garage, baby, she told Apollo, get away from me with this, Apollo.
Listen.
So I've even said that to her. Shout out to my good girlfriend, Phaedra. Phaedra Parks looked amazing this past weekend at BravoCon, honey. Baby, she had wigs, and more wigs, honey. She had more wigs than gigs, baby. And baby has a lot of gigs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Baby, she switched the wig more than I did. But yet again, I guess I got someone sitting here in my office telling me to say wigs and more gigs. I guess, because see, Miss Quiet couldn't be that witty. Girl, y'all sit y'all ass down somewhere, please. Take a seat, several seats in the nose, please.
We have known this about you since season 1, episode 1. So I knew they weren't talking about you. So
oh no, they couldn't have been talking about me.
No, absolutely not. I mean, and you don't get to do what you do and then go into the news and talk space and then think that somebody gonna talk for you. Okay, and the funny part about, and you're right. No, go
Richie,
ahead.
And I want to add another layer to that. And shouts out to my big sis, loving person, most beautiful, Sherry Shepherd. When you are doing live TV is completely different. Anything could happen at any given moment to kind of throw you. You have to be able to follow the conversation, follow the interview to know what to say next. It's not always about a cue card. It's not. I was fortunate to be able to do that for 3.5 years. And not only that, let me take it back, that Helen Swenson, I love Helen Swenson. Hey, baby girl, how you doing? New York is treating you well. You're doing your thing. But Helen Swenson seen that in me many years ago. And she said, this girl will be great for talk. And she was not wrong. And I got to tell you, God has already told me I'm coming back to talk. I don't know in what magnitude.
I was gonna ask that because in my spirit, I feel like that's gonna come back around for you.
Oh yeah, for sure, and I welcome it.
You know
you
what?
You gotta be able to feel the air. There's a lot of people who, if they can't read, and we see some people right now on TV struggling in their talk show spaces, where if it's not on that card, they can't pivot. If something is said, they can't pivot from it, and that's never been my problem.
I feel like we have spoken a lot into existence for you, even in this one conversation, and I'm just so delighted. Quad, can you tell the people where they can find you, everything Quad, before we go?
Absolutely, I sure can. And again, thank you for having me. You can reach me on all social media platforms at Absolutely Quad. Absolutely Quad. You can reach me on Instagram, Twitter, and also Facebook. If you have not yet got my cookbook, which I think this is the perfect time to get it because we are approaching the holiday season. We have Thanksgiving coming up, and we also have Christmas coming up, and it is a time for you to cook and eat, and don't worry about the 10 pounds that you're going to gain. You can go ahead and get my cookbook, Let me make sure I put this in the camera the right way. There we go. Cooking with Miss Quad, live, laugh, love, and eat. And you can get that cookbook, like I said, anywhere fine books are sold. Like I do a lot of shopping online now. So I just call on Amazon. And I do the Amazon Prime, and they send it to me the next day. And then I got a nice deal about 5 o'clock that evening, okay? So you make sure that you do that. And listen, let's get away from things that are high in sodium. Let me get this together for you. See, I got to get my angles. You know, that's how the girls on Instagram be. They got to get their angles together, okay? There we go.
Yes, we see that fast label.
There we go. There we go, baby. There we go. So go ahead too and get SAS. This is my all-purpose seasoning. Literally, it's on pre-order right now. You can get it if you go to my Instagram, you can get it. The link is in the bio. It's SAS by Quad. Go ahead and get it. Like I said, no MSG, gluten-free, and it's low in sodium. And that's very important. As I have my degree in biology and a minor in chemistry, trust me, I have worked with people who have high blood pressure and all of the above, and you know, hypertension and all of that. This is low in sodium, so we don't have to worry about the scales when it comes to high blood pressure, okay? I love you all, Quad Squad. Reload it, elevate, matriculate, and keep doing great things. I'm with you.
Listen, I could not have ended this on a finer note than that. Skye Squad, thank you so much for tuning in. Quad, we love you, and we will catch you all in the next video.